There is a specific reason why so many people do a lot of spiritual practices, but they don't really get anywhere. And once you understand it, it allows you to use the same spiritual practices, and yet they bring you immensely more benefits. You see, it all goes to how do you approach your spiritual practices? Are you just approaching it like a task? Like I have to meditate, or 10 minutes on the clock, when it's done, I'm done, and that's it, I did it, and that's awesome. Or are you approaching it with a certain goal? Maybe you want liberation, maybe you want to expand your consciousness, but whatever it is, if you truly have a goal and a purpose, you will approach meditation and all other spiritual practices as an adventure, as a mystery, as an infinite possibility. And this is what creates the greatest difference, because when you just do it as a task, not only do you only do it as a task, but you also have a pre-made idea on how it should be, what it should bring. And because of this pre-made idea, it creates a limitation, it creates a wall to the unknown. Because whether it is meditation, pranayama, kriyas, the greatest is always in the unknown. It is never in the known. And what I mean by this is, sometimes you have some nice experience. This is the known. And then you try to remember it, you try to recreate it, but you totally forget and are unaware that something even greater is available to you. But the thing is, to reach this even greater point in meditation and all spiritual practices, it will happen when you approach it as if it is divine. Not just as if it is divine, it is actually divine. And when you just surrender to the method fully, without expectation, without a thought on what should be happening, this is when the greatest miracle occurs in your meditation and all other practices. And you see, it all connects to a certain story of mine. There is a pranayama called Nadishidi, where you inhale from a nostril, exhale, and then you switch and you continue. And I was doing it almost on a daily basis at home, almost every day. And I never had a really super cool experience, and I didn't really like it, so it felt kind of like a task to me before. And one day, I went to a spiritual gathering with Isha Foundation, so the foundation of Sadhguru. Sadhguru wasn't there, but there was people working for Isha Foundation. And all together we did Nadishidi. But now, because there was a lot of people, because it was a different environment, within myself, I approached it differently. And it was my greatest Nadishidi experience. I went so deep within myself, inhaling felt like white, cold energy entering my being, exhaling felt like beautiful smoke getting out and my whole body calming down. And I felt so many unique sensations, like tingling in my whole body. Even the legs started to shake a little bit. It doesn't have to happen though, don't start to think that it should happen, but it did just a little bit. And yeah, it was a really special feeling. And it was not because there was a lot of people. It was not because of Isha Foundation or anything. It was because I, within myself, approached it differently. And what pushed me to approach it differently, yes, was the outside environment. But you should not be a slave to the outside environment. You should be able to approach it in the same divine way, whether you are alone in your room or in a class with a guru, anywhere, anytime. And once I realized this, I started to reapproach Nadishidi in the same way, alone in my room, and my experience deepened itself a lot. And there's another story when I went to a Buddhist temple, and the same kind of story happened. We meditated together, and because there was a lot of people around us and a teacher in front of us, I really did not want to move my body at all. I wanted to be utterly still, to be perfect, because now people were watching. You know, alone in your room, you tend to move a little bit to readjust yourself, this and that, because no one is watching. But when you really want to do it right, suddenly, again, you approach it differently. You don't move your body anymore. Even if you want to move, even if you crave moving, you don't move. You go deep, deep, deep within yourself, and if thoughts arise, you ignore them, and you keep centering yourself into truth, into the self, into deep nothingness. And just because, again, that I approached it differently, because I wanted to appear as someone who meditates well, I meditated so well. And that again gave me the realization that I can do this at home as well. Because I remembered a sentence from a guru, not of spirituality, but of success in the 3D world. And he explained that you should act at all time as if everyone was watching you. Because if you only give your best when people are watching you, you'll get probably nowhere. You must be able to give your best, your entire heart, your whole effort, even when you are alone. So those are just some little stories to amplify the message. But yeah, to put it simple, if you're getting nowhere, you're probably approaching it all like a task, like washing the dishes, when in fact it is the reason why you came on earth as a soul. It is your sadhana, your spiritual practices, your discipline to go back to Godhead, to go back to Source. And it is something beyond all that you know, and it will only be found in the unknown. So remember this, and I can guarantee that even your next meditation in the next couple of minutes, if you do it this way, as a mystery, as an adventure, as something new, as if you never did it before, your experience will be enhanced. So how do you feel about what I shared? Do you have any similar story? Did it make you realize anything? What will you do next in order to make your meditation, your same usual practice, so much deeper than usual? Let me know it in the comment. And always remember that the greatest miracle, the greatest growth is never in the known. It is always in the unknown. And this unknown is not found externally, it is found within yourself. Thank you for watching this video. I am Simon, and together we grow spiritually beyond pretending. Hare Krishna.